Junke. Qualifier number 2, King of the Hippo number 5. We are looking at graveyards. Players can choose out of Britons, Persians, Teutons, and Indians. And with me will be Timotheus, the Irish brother.
The coaches.
Indeed. So, we are fighting for this beautiful hippo in the center. And Hank is already controlling that monument. And as you can see, his resources are climbing quite a bit. Timotheus, what are your thoughts about the civilizations? We see 4 times Teutons, 2 times Persians.
Pretty expected. The Ironclad is such a OP civ at the moment, just giving all siege the 4 hack armor. I imagine we'll be seeing a lot of siege on Halberdier and a lot of Welfens.
Well, kind of makes sense for sure. We didn't talk about the map that much before. Tell me, what's so special about graveyards?
A lot of relics, which makes it, if you can get early control of sort of 10 relics, then you're in pretty good shape. There's a bunch of gold and stone mines just scattered throughout the map, which means it's easier to like build bombard towers or sustain gold throughout the game. So there should be a fair bit of gold just going around throughout the game.
And look at that, scout fight 1. Kiwi must be pretty happy, raising his arms and yeah, I'm controlling the... Oh,
well played, Red. Well played.
And he was camping there, line of sight, didn't know what was up, and yeah, a lot of fighting for the center here. And as we can see, Red now already controlling the center for a solid 80 seconds as well, trying to run away from the higher HP scout from Purple.
Loops for as long as possible. I mean, that extra goldstone with food adds up really quickly, so just keep doing loops around the wonder as long as possible, and then only when you're like 3 HP is it like mandatory to flee, I'd say.
Yeah, okay. Makes a lot of sense. And well, the wonder seems to be pretty strong at the start. What are your strategies? Are you trying to drush there? Are you trying to go for some early aggression? Maybe flushing, early castle attack? All seems quite viable.
Out of all of those, I'd say the least viable is like the flushing and stuff, just because if you do flush, then it makes it very easy for... You get the extra resources, but then it's very easy for someone to just quickly clear out your base. The Imperial Lake Castle, just because you're a bit behind. I think something that could be worthwhile is maybe sending a village or 2 early on and trying to wall it out. But then if everyone has the same idea, then that wouldn't. And it's just the typical thing in free-for-all of do what everyone else doesn't do.
Win.
Oh, that
right?
Too, but...
Right. Oh, that's how it works, yeah. Okay, Red is fine here. We already saw some scout kills here. I believe no real villager kills yet. At the moment, Purple, the happy one, controlling the monument, still with 45 HP as well. And
it looks like he's sending a few village... Oh no, he's just taking deer. If I was Purple right now, I'd probably send 2 villages forwards just to build a palisade around the wonder out of everyone's line of sight.
Ah, yeah.
The wand itself, you can't really see the stuff around it, so just build a palisade, get those extra... The 1 villager it takes to build a palisade around, or 2 villagers, you easily make up the amount of resources just by control of the wonder.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so true. If you control the minute longer, that makes so much more of an eco bonus. We have some pawns on this map. So Red has his private pawn, could be pretty sexy for him, but seems like he did not scout that one, did go for the center. So won't go for that one. Let's take a look if Purple... No, he didn't see the pawn, but Blue goes for a dock here. Should be in a pretty good spot. Green at the moment. Not going for the pawn, although yeah, could have quite a nice spot. Was controlling this monument for 13 seconds there and is now going for a mill.
It's unfortunate for Blue. Like, he should really dock that. There's so much fish that needs Persians, which means his dock works faster. Like, he could have such an insane boom if he decided to double or triple a dock that, like, he could be have it equal to the person with the Wonder, which is saying a lot considering how strong the Wonder is.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely great. And, well, he's not going for it. Obviously, Shawfish isn't the worst thing ever, but might even be housed here. No, he's rushing his house out with 2 villagers. We have people going for feudal age with quite some reasonable timings. Looks like Hank could go for some scouts or goes for the center here. Take a look, he's sending villagers forward.
That getting control of the Wonders, like, you just take a look at Singularity, who's had the Wonder for the last while. Those resources are absolutely insane. So doing a fast castle while building scouts or something, or adding spearmen, the Wonder is so strong, and I'm really glad you added the mod to actually give an incentive to take control of it.
Yeah,
That
I
is
think
dynamics of the game.
Yeah, especially like the late qualifiers when everyone really knows how strong it is. It will just be so sick. Look at that. He already gained 1.6k resources. Only due to the Wonder. That's single scout.
To go Castle Age as soon as he builds the blacksmith, and he's already got essentially 600 stone for having done absolutely nothing. He didn't need that one guy in gold. He just got enough from the Wonder, and this will make getting the relics a lot easier, because what he's got from the relics means that the Wonder means he can just get a few monks very early on.
Okay, Hank is now tower rushing this center as well. And yeah, Singularity, the question is, will he really go for those relics? At the moment, he's walling quite a bit at the front as well. Seems like Hank is the only guy really trying to contest the Wonder early on. He's now sending his spearmen in as well.
Control the Wonder, and that will really help push him forward. Teuton's already having a really strong economy. Those extra resources will make him go to castle a lot sooner, and already he's going to be recovering a lot of the stone that he just spent on that tower.
Yeah. Oh, and he is going for the wall, and I think this should have been stone wall. What do you think?
I think stone would have been the logical decision as well. He's getting the stone anyway from the Wonder. It would have made his economy stronger if he had used stone as well, because he could be using his wood for other things, where stone, there's not really much point of it until Castle Age.
Kind of weird. I think stone, yeah, is kind of the obvious choice here. Now even adding a scout, I think that's not really necessary, but his resources are going up quite a bit.
The scouts are generally useful. This is graveyards after all, and there's a huge amount of relics around. And while it will delay his uptime a bit, it's not bad having a few scouts just to pick off a few monks and stuff, and to try to get control of a few extra relics.
Yeah,
ever so slightly.
So weird for me that Kiwi didn't go for the pond there. Oh, Persian bonus would have been so nice. As you can see, Morty, he's using the pond, and that really helps him. The only guy actually going for water at all. Singularity watering himself a bit more. And we see another tower here from Hanky Boy.
Okay. He just wants the control of the Wonder, and why not? It is strong. I think that will be something which I think contestants may not have fully realized until they weren't watching early on. Having watched sort of this one and a bit of the previous one, I think contestants in later qualifiers would definitely try to go for the Wonder a lot fastest.
Yeah. And that's what I want to see. Maybe Drush. We played some on Thursday, and well, I went full M&A aggression, built some castles around, and it didn't feel like I was super behind. Maybe I overcommitted a bit, but I'm excited to see what people will come up, especially like the great brains of those settings, like Dracons, Shadow, and other people who, well, maybe saw some qualifiers and can now scratch their heads.
I think a big part of this is doing the minimum possible to be able to get control of those extra resources. I'm kind of a small bit surprised not to see any Britons in this qualifier, just because I really wanted to see those trebuchets blasting everything in the center.
Oh, well, yeah. I think Britons are kind of good for, like, not allowing the opponent to win, but kind of tough for putting yourself in the spot to win.
The thing with Britons is, as I saw what you were doing the last game in the deathmatch, was if you can surround the center with trebuchets, keeps, and trebuchets, then that would be pretty hard. And because Teutons, most of the contestants are Teutons, none of them have siege ram. Lost for a lot of the civs, and then the keeps bone backing up by trebuchets, that would be really hard to take out, I think.
Yeah, potentially, but well, have a lot of wild events are flying around. That's getting tricky as well. First relic taken now by our player in yellow. Built his monastery quite nice and early on. I think people could go for like up to 10 relics or something. I believe I had a qualifier with Eddie once, and he had like 14 or something. He just went full monk rush.
He was Aztecs, I was Magos. Poxo ended up winning that one as Magos.
Yeah.
It was insane. Aztecs with like 24 something relics. It's pretty class.
Oh, yeah, I think there are like 5 per player on the map.
That's enough to be able to constantly be producing Siege Onager, because even it's a Teuton and Persian War, you expect war offense, which means people will be building a lot of halberdiers, which obviously don't cost gold.
Double monastery from red now as well. Most people going for the boom. We have Morty being a bit behind, but going heavily on his relics, having 2 monasteries as well, adding TC number 3 now as well. And obviously having the fish boom advantage really helps him out. Hank, probably the slowest one here. And
his resources are looking seriously good. He could, if he wanted to, click Imperial Age, but probably not the best idea.
Yeah, in his point of view, he even built some more scouts, will get some more kills, will climb up to 4 kills here. So, kill-wise, not the most aggressive game. Let's take a look. The monks should not get a conversion here. But, and yeah, continuing to be annoying is Hank the Super Nerd.
Is your room frozen at the moment? Mine's stuck.
No,
doing nothing.
23 to 25.
How
are Hank's res? We are looking at Hank's res at all times, guys. They are redonkulous. More monasteries. Maybe he wants to build the monasteries a bit further in the back. And well, those 2 or that one knight couldn't kill anything from Hank either. 51 villagers. Looking pretty sexy for him. And well, he could click up any second now.
I think green and red are going to have a hard game, because both of them are more central in one of the corners, and neither of them have full control of a corner. Red being more sandwiched between the corner owned by orange and purple, and same with green, because it seems like yellow and blue have done just a better job of trying to expand the corner.
Yeah, there will be. Yeah, it's pretty safe to be in a corner compared to being stuck between 2 guys. Oh, does not really want to lose his scout.
Blue could, but the scout's faster. Poor Morty. And here comes another spearman to the rescue.
Yeah. Oh, nice job here, Hank. You will click this so much. And I read.
Oh, phew. His scout stopped, and his scout died, but just as a pikeman came in.
Yeah, so. Okay. Sweet stuff. So he continues to control there. And I read an interesting strategy from War to the Conqueror. Wouldn't be the best strat to go Japanese, get control of the monument early, wall in and build a lot of towers, get Yasama in castle and keep building more towers and more stone. Oh, it's really tough to break you, right?
And I don't even want to imagine if it was Koreans doing that. Koreans with their Siege Onager, just nothing would be able to take that out.
Yeah.
Just nothing.
Well, we had the greatest game of all time on Ripples with Korean defense there. Mass, Onager, and Cannon Tower defense. That is tough to break, even if 7 people all want to go for it.
Koreans are just... And was that before Warlord Kingdoms as well?
Yes.
Got down to 0, but it wasn't quite a win.
Yeah, exactly. It showed 0 years and then it still changed.
And that was the qualifier I managed to get through.
You won this one? Ah, I think so, yeah. Yeah.
King of the Hippo too.
Yeah.
Where I was Spanish and got down to 0 years, and I was wondering why the game wasn't over when it got to 0, but apparently you need to hold it for a full second even at 0.
Yeah.
Which was pretty... It feels bad for the guy.
Yeah. It was the Book of Moon, a French player.
Oh yeah, Equays I think is his other name, but that was tough. That was tough for him.
Uh-oh, now going for the move in here. Only 1 pikeman left. Want to queue up some more. Now needs to run, and Tank will probably lose the wonder.
Morty, and the thing is, Morty has got camels coming after him, so now everyone's wanting a share of that middle.
Okay, let's take a look at villager counts. Look at Yellow. Hallelujah. He has some resources banked up. And
he's definitely in a strong position. He's already secured himself that corner, and there's a good few gold piles in there. And he does have a few relics.
6. Yeah. My overlay shows 6. Actually, everyone grabbing at least 2 of those relics. Purple will probably get up to 3, maybe 4. We still have some left over at the top here. So everyone with their fair share. And it feels like Hank might actually retake that monument after all.
With the camels just standing still, and now the camels are going to probably try to do laps. We'll get into it just with those pikemen. They do so much damage against camels now that... But I think Yellow will be looking to push into the thing with halberdiers soon enough and should be able to take it fairly easily. He'll have to kill the Green's base first though, in his way, and I don't like Green's position this with that lake in front of him. It will make it very challenging to get to the middle.
I think he should just take control of the lake. If he has cannon guns there, doesn't have cannon guns, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I'll check if they've got elite.
I don't think so. But, hopefully Shine isn't watching. Oh. He always hates me. It's only cannon guns. They do have elite. Okay.
So 7, I think it's 15 range, and Turkish one's a 17. So that would get the majority of the wonder, and it would give them platform if they used Onager cut to cut those trees there. But even then, it's just not enough building space. You would really want a big line of barracks, siege workshops, castles, the whole shebang.
The whole shebang, indeed. And speaking of shebangs, Dominal, he's tacking onto a lot of things. Halberdiers, light cav, getting all the upgrades in the Burg here, even getting guilds at the first guy. Quite nice in FFAs as well. If you had the best boom, get guilds and sell a lot of that food and wood and bank yourself up to maybe 5k or more gold.
Look at the top of the map. Red is trying to sneak those 2 relics away from Orange. And Orange even has monks in the area.
Oh. Orange, yeah, he didn't. Did he really scout those? Let's take a look. Hank, no, he doesn't know
Out
about
of line
them.
of sight, and that will be big because 2 extra relics in the long term can make it a fairly big difference.
Yeah, so true. And walls are still open, so he will get those home quite easily. We're down to 167 years, guys, and thank you so much for all the subs flying in. The old castle.
Nearly he.
Nearly he. Oh, Blue is building quite an army as well. Siege towers? He thinks there are more walls. Okay. It's only 1 layer of palisade walls in his Teutonic Knights. Okay.
a way of hopping over the wall. Why not? He's getting a bunch of castles there, and when he gets crenellations, that will be very useful. Would definitely be very strong to have in the center. But out of all the people's positions, I think I like purple's the best.
He
is
has a lot
Teutons,
of ground.
and he's got a lot of ground. So I think Teutons is a better civ than Persians, and he's got. So it would be a tough one, but I think I'd give him a slight advantage over everyone at the moment.
Okay, well, he isn't really contesting the center yet. He only has 4 relics. And, well, whenever he wants to really go through the center, he either has to kill the forward base of blue, which will get really tricky moving forward, or he has to go
That's
through red.
7,500 gold, though, which will...
Hallelujah!
So...
Okay.
A lot of gold, which he can conserve for a long time.
No. There's still lots of gold spots left, and that's the beauty of this game. The game before, we kind of had a lot of staggered around small gold piles. And look at that, purple! He's also even getting my peace award of this game. So far, 0 kills.
He just decided to go in the middle after all the scouts had killed themselves, and then become the hero as he chased away the last scout with when he had full HP.
Yeah.
Going for Paladin. I mean, they were one of the strongest units, but I don't see them being really useful in this type of warfare when everyone is going to either have halberdiers or war orphans.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Or Teutonic Knights, so I can't really see them being too useful. Obviously, if he goes by the approach of trying to kill everyone else's base and then take the middle, the Paladin would be a good investment. But if he's actually trying to take the center himself, I can't imagine them being too useful.
Yeah, agreed. Hank, by the way, is building up himself a lot to the north there, trying to defend against potential attack from red. That won't really happen. Both kind of trying to wall up, playing this quite defensively. And red now attacking to SO. And we are down to 100 years for the first times. That's your time to spam nearly years in the chat, because now we are getting into the serious phase of this game.
If I were blue, I'd start walling off around the lakes, because then trying to do a bid for the center, then have your base absolutely cleaned up from behind. This is really the time where players should be trying to set boundaries.
Look at all those castles, and 13 range as well. Purple isn't doing a lot here with his cavaliers. He's trying to run through those castles.
Cavaliers won't be too useful, especially again with everything that's going to be being built here. The Teuton castle, on the other hand, that is something which is going to be really tough to take out if he has the stone to just keep pumping them around with 13 range.
Honestly, I have a really bad feeling for this game. Is it an option that blue wins this one on the first try? No one is really going for the center, right?
That's the fun thing about the King of the Hippo, because is wanting to delay it as long as possible, which means that the first attempt always has like a high chance of succeeding, because no one wants to be the one to weaken themselves first. Okay. And so it seems like everyone's trying to be cautious, but this is giving blue way too much time to get his like 5-6 castles set up.
Okay, but people are agreeing, okay, maybe we go for the center. Persian player is sending in all his paladins, soon to be paladins, sniping the cavaliers, the traps first, which isn't the most important unit. I think sniping the siege towers would have been a bit nicer. Killing one of the castles, but people need to move in slowly. 65 years to go.
I think if blue had actually got his things researched fully, he would be fine, but I don't think he's got enough technologies. I mean, just looking at his stuff, he doesn't have Ironclad, Elite Teutonic Knight, his Blacksmith has essentially nothing, his Monks are lacking. His castles have a few more things that it could do. He just doesn't have enough techs.
Yeah, agreed. Now opening the walls from Hank. I believe Hank should delete his walls. Yeah, and green is saying that as well. Let's take a look. Oh, yellow has quite some army, but he's not getting to the center yet. Hank is having elite Teutonic knights. And yeah, green even says, yellow, go through. And he does. Nice team play there, realizing what's most important in this game. And that is defeating blue first.
His base is getting raided by green paladins, and his economy is looking really trashy at the moment. He's got a lot of gold and stone to spear the wanted, but everything else, he's lost a lot of resources from paladins raiding him.
Oh, well, I think that's kind of the first paladin raid, honestly. Blue here is down to 146 pop, sending in some mangonels. Well, that's not really the unit that you want to have at the moment. Some more siege towers coming in, paladins moving in as well. It looks like he will be defeated, but it's only 36 years left.
Now, if I were blue right now, I'd just try to consolidate what I have, just accept the losses, try to get the blue paladins out of my base, fully upgrade my halberdiers and siege onagers, and then
give yourself a shot for maybe a later time, right? Because now just spamming resources into death isn't really an option. He lost all his castles there. Didn't he have like 5 forward castles?
6 or 7.
Like that.
That's a huge blow for him. And now, if I were green at the moment, I would try to do a quick sack of blue base, steal his relics and wall from yellow and purple, and then use that quarter of the map.
Okay, and he had 6 relics. One there, where are the other ones? Okay, well, yeah, he has 6 relics, so green could get that. Blue resigned.
Green or purple would definitely, one of them would definitely want to steal those 6 relics and take that space, both of which are very important.
Okay, now the switching begins.
Those siege onagers with 4 hack armor from red. I'm glad he's got ironclad.
Hack armor, okay. Yeah. Well, Hank is getting quite an army for himself as well. 70 military there. We have red at the moment with only 14, but controlling the center. But purple will take over, getting some reasonable kills. Now getting the hill close by, getting SO tech as well. And I was told he has quite some gold. Indeed, look at the gold amount of purple. F me. 13.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so he's still got gold slots, a few full ones, at least 4,000 gold in his gold spots. At this point, he can go into blue's base, steal his relics. He's in a great spot, assuming he is not stupid and lets other people take the center and doesn't pay attention.
And purple's already building the monastery close to blue, so he knows exactly what's up. Did barely scout anything of blue's base, but yeah. Well, that's a clever move for sure.
His paladins, which he's researched, should really try to take out blue. I mean, he's got the wonder at the moment, which means he has nothing to fear in the countdown. So this is the time I'd try to completely destroy blue and wall off green.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
I feel like red, although he's got a bunch of stuff, is in by far the worst position at this point, just because any bid he makes for the center is going to be sandwiched by both orange and purple from either side. And if he is looking too strong, either of them can sack him, and he will most likely run out of wood and space in the long run.
Let's take a look at the resources. We have yellow with no food, 8k gold. Hank has a lot of resources overall. Red is looking into a lot of food and gold. Purple we already took a look at, and green, well, kind of with the lowest resource and losing quite some traps here as well. Is he attacking for elephants? Well, he's building more castles, but for now, paladin camel composition. Oh, yellow is going for a strong push here.
So it will be interesting to see if yellow actually tries to go for the center or looks to take someone out here. of rams, so whoever he decides to go for, I wouldn't want to be in their position at the moment.
Well, with 60 years only, I think going for the center makes a bit more sense if you ask me. He doesn't really know what's up there. Let's take a look. That's the vision they have. They see some orange units, they see some purple units fighting, but they don't really know what's left there from purple, how much he has behind that line.
Now purple is able, he sees all the siege oranges, so he should be wanting to get his trebuchets back before they die, and he doesn't want to start building that castle because it will die instantly. It's targeted. So I don't like that new castle of his. It will be going down very fast.
Well, you don't think that this castle will go up? Let's see. Well, a lot of Hardiers are dying with it. But yeah, that's one juicy shot for sure. Well, that's 650 stone down the drain if he doesn't cancel. But for at the moment, it's still ticking for him, 40 years. And yellow is still half a screen away.
And here comes yellow. He starts to see the wolfants now, but he only sees about 4, 5, and 4
He
rounds.
shouldn't go back. Yellow needs to move in. 35 years, guys. Uh-oh.
And the castle is actually miraculously going up. I actually cannot believe that it managed to go up with all those siege oranges around. But it will make a difference because yellow is here with a lot of wolfants, and those should clean up the center.
Oh, it's only 28 years. A lot of paladins are sent over though. Well, that's not the greatest thing. Not even cost efficient against the SO there. And yeah, Wild Offense will just stomp over Purple's army.
The Singularity has used up a lot of his gold. I don't know how he suddenly lost 10,000 gold from building Teutonic Knights, but...
Well, he did add Scorpions as well. Let's take a look. Did Q Paladins, maybe some traps as well. And well, he is ready to take the relics.
Playing some monks because they all know that yellow and green are going to be doing war offense, and it's not a bad idea just to have monks ready to convert half the war offense, and then your scorpions and the war offense kill the rest.
Yeah, makes sense to add in some monks. With block printing, kind of can be super annoying when people try to camp there, and that's a lot of HP. If you're a Persian there with 620 HP wall defense, 270 HP on those siege rams, it's tough to kill a good 80 pop army. The Persian is getting the center control.
That's why I think the castles are really nice in the sense that they have all that range, you know, it's tough and allow production. But if I was purple, I'd want to have sort of 1,000 barracks right beside the middle as well, just to be able to spam halberdiers.
Well, so you like what Hank is doing?
I like Hank's approach. Conserving his gold, because realistically, halberdier siege onager will... Considering what everyone's building, you don't need to build more other gold units. Halberdier siege onagers, if micro can kill everything, and with halberdier in front, it allows the meat shield, so units can't get to them.
We said this castle from Singularity would go down and cost him 650 stone. In the end, he even repaired it, so it's more like 800 stone. And yeah, didn't really buy him time. And he's falling back at the moment. Hank back in control. He's in the driver's seat here. And green is now going for the big raids into yellow's eco. He's down to pop 70. What happened here?
In his big push for the center with his wolfens, and green was, by the courtesy of green, he lost all his villages. So it'll be tough for yellow to come back into this.
And he's down to only one castle. Wow, this is ugly.
It's a difficult situation because you want to maintain the balance, but at the same time you want to get as much, be as greedy as possible in terms of space and relics and all that. But it's really hard to get that balance correct, because if you completely kill someone, then the person who's been spending the last 10 minutes fortifying the center, you may not be strong enough to dislodge him.
Oh, tricky stuff. Well, Hank has some solid army. Obviously super vulnerable if we had like 2-3 SO there. Would really shred those, but for now, no SO to be seen. Take a look, purple. Well, he still has quite some resources.
I really feel like orange is in a very strong position. He's building more barracks. He does have the critical monks in case elephants come, so 10 monks. And he does have all the techs he needs. Elephants come, he can just run around with siege towers because they are fast enough that they can really be a pain.
Okay, now Kiwi is going towards the center. We'll kill all those siege towers. Let's take a look. There are a lot of Halberdiers in. If they go out, and now they are, they could maybe take care of that. That's a lot of losses on all sides, 57 years, and now red is moving in as well. Everyone contesting the center except yellow at the moment. Absolutely love that.
I feel like both green and purple are being too peaceful when it comes to blue base. I mean, purple still hasn't cleared away blue's village. There's still 6 relics he hasn't taken. And it would be very simple just to wall green off from blue's base because there is very important resources, especially the wood if it gets to late game.
Wow, true. By the way, something I'm not sure. Do you remember in the old days that the host kind of had to stay in the game, otherwise you couldn't continue speccing the game?
Was Morty the host?
No, he is blue. I was fearing that. Hank is the host. But kind of need to tell the host in the future that they have to stay in, even if they are defeated. Yeah, I was nervous for a small second there. Okay, let's scroll through resources. Singularity has a lot. Red with quite a lot as well. Orange, scrolling up. Yellow, trying to stabilize with his pop 70. And green, lots of trash resources there. 70, no, 50 years now. And green lost everything.
Completely out of it, so he won't be able to help. Green does have an army, but it's on the wrong side of the map, I think. I'm not sure where his army is. And he's now starting to try to find purple from behind. But it'll be up to both red and purple to stop orange at the moment because green's not spending the effort and yellow is totally out of it.
Well, that's a lot of siege towers, traps going down, and the castles going down. All the work of the traps of red here, some more SO trying to do the work, but that's still a lot of siege towers around here, and they have some damage, and it seems like someone dropped? No, not really. They had some lag, but they are continuing. Red now switching on to some cav of his own. 30 years to go. Hank still with quite some army. Let's go into his point of view. Lots of Halberdiers around. Siege towers still efficient here as well, but now Teutonic Knights closing the distance.
He's building a guard tower, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just tries to garrison his few villages in there as a sort of a last second unit in the middle. It seems like he will be successfully cleared away. I don't think he has enough, and considering there's sort of 3 big armies preventing reinforcements from coming, I think, although a nice bid, he'll need to just spend time to recover his losses.
Ooh, good SO shot though against all the Scorpions. Are they really cutting off the reinforcements though? 17 years now he's sending in all the villagers. Focus purple says... Green here,
killing all the Scorpions is going to make it a lot easier for orange to stay alive in the center.
Uh-oh, and he's continuing with Halberdiers. 11 years for him, some Halberdiers, and now it's switched back to purple. Yeah.
Orange needs to take a step back, rebuild his farms, rebuild his economy, and try to seize the next opportunity, which he'll need to wait by this time for that. Now taking the relics. In blue's base, he's got 3 monks with 3 relics, and it shouldn't be too difficult just to click on his monster.
Yeah, it's not the macro at the moment, and I have a small déjà vu. Wasn't the base that I'm looking at of purple, blue ones, kind of the same, right? The castle, siege workshop there.
Yep, it's very similar to what blue had at the start of the game.
Okay.
What blue was, purple was still there, and purple was trying to fight his way to the center. So blue had his base, and purple was killing it from behind. Now, there's no one to kill purple from behind.
Yeah, so true. 80 years here, red not having a lot of traps, Hank obviously still licking his wounds, green trying to focus on the center but not really on purple, more on trying to clear up orange. Meanwhile, yellow is back, and if yellow attacks green, I think purple is in a very good spot.
Yellow would just spend the rest of the game having a vendetta against green, trying to kill him from behind. Orange would need to spend time recovering. Red will try to take the center, except he doesn't quite have the right composition. Hand cannoneers are absolutely useless in this type of warfare where there's just siege onager and halberdier and scorpion. And purple does have a lot of castles nearby, and there's no one attacking him from behind. So I think it'll be just red trying to dislodge him, attacking green from behind, and orange just biding his time, trying to recover.
Yeah, and that's a problem. I think purple will win this attack. Look at that. He still has so much left. Pop 200 for him. Let's take a look at his resources. Mass amounts still left. Has all his castles cleared up. This has to be purple. They need to realize...
Green is trying to do a cut from behind. I imagine he's got a siege workshop next to the wall, and if I were green, I'd do the onager cut and absolutely try to destroy purple's economy. We'll see if that's what he's going to do, but one problem is that there's no one to attack purple from behind, except green is now finally starting to prepare those siege workshops.
Oh, that's too late. Yellow has nothing. Orange is regrouping. I think it's only red against purple, and red not with enough protection for his SO. They will all die. Purple looks just so good in this game. I think he will take it.
He had a very strong start, being able to get the winner for the critical first half of the game. That extra stone skyrocketed his booms. That extra gold allowed him to get the monks and relics without and that really helps the initial boost.
Hank not even having all his upgrades. Now 34 years left. Green attacking with only trash over here. That's so brutal. Look at that. Does not have any gold left. Only 3 relics for him. Purple also with 10 relics. Now hand cannoneers around. Can purple maybe screw this up?
Purple is game to lose, in my opinion. He just needs to send a bunch of villagers, get a bunch of barracks. He needs to be careful not to lose all his guys with siege onager shots, but purple and red are red and orange are doing themselves a disservice with their siege onagers killing each other. Well, that's exactly what they need to dislodge purple.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that looks so good. Purple even fighting off both armies. They're trying to micro back here. That's not what you want. Not even 20 years left. Red is pushing in. Purple still with pop 170. No.
Anyway, purple can lose this game unless everyone else unless he completely Titanics and deletes all his troops.
Kind of that. Maybe a big misclick or something. I've seen it all. But yeah, that won't happen. 10 years and we'll have another purple win here, as it seems.
Not nearly enough troops in the thing. He's got at least 30-40 troops in the center. Those aren't going to die anytime soon.
All full HP as well. 5 years, guys. Do a countdown in the chat. Yellow is pushing in. He got a nice army. And, well, yellow not really happy with green. Now he is saying, let's go for the center, but it's too late. 2 years, 1 year, GG. Singularity is going into the final and will play Sunday evening for $220. Congratulations to him. What did he do so well, Timotheus?
He was patient with it. So going into Dark Age, he was patient with his scout. He let everyone else fight it out, and then he came and took the winnings. That was important. He walled. he was in a good position in the map. Secondly, he had a very clear corner which he could take, whereas if you take a look at red and green, they were in the dead center, so there was no exact corner they could take. So he was smart in that he walled early using the extra stone that he got from the wonder. And then he just played it safe. He upgraded all his troops and then went for the center after he had all the upgrades. One of the things that was fortunate for him is that it was blue who tried to do the first push, and that would have been, if purple had tried to take it, blue would have been his biggest nightmare, because he would have had to put the buildings where he did, and then he would have had blue trying to push him from behind, destroying all his buildings. So I think in the end, it was smart with his scout at the start. Blue was the first one to go, which gave him a nice position. And then he went for it with all his buildings not being able to be touched.
Sick summary. Okay, sweet stuff. Let's take a look at the stats. Then Morty in the end, yeah, obviously not killing the most, and purple going crazy. Military count, everyone actually with quite high numbers. And let's take a look at the relic guild as well, shall we? That has to be sick. Look at that. 10 relics in the end. We had red with close to 10k relic. And that's not the longest game ever. 1 hour 30 minutes, and everyone has so sick numbers. Gonna love that map.
A fun game, a fun map to play King of the Hippo, because there's a bunch of gold stone, which means you're actually able to see the full power of